Okay, today we are going to be doing this lesson and assignment here, evaluating air quality from EPA using Desmos. So you should have already opened this, so please open that site. Okay, so when you get there, the first thing is to watch this video, and then which is going to guide you through the process of evaluating the air quality data with Desmos. And the first thing you want to do is just go ahead and open this up, please, and it'll take you to this document. So I take you to this document here. It gives a kind of a description of what we're doing. We've learned about the mean, as I put the links that we've used to learn about the mean, median, range, and mode. I'm not going to go through those again, but if you want to click on those, if you forgot what each one of them represents, you can click on it to see a quick example. But as you'll notice, like for example, when it comes to like calculating the mean, for example, what they gave us is a list of like a few numbers, 6, 11, and 7, and told us, hey, you add them up and you divide by the fact that there are 3 numbers, right? So it gave us a really small, in each case, a really small list of numbers that we could use our calculator to crunch the numbers. And remember, mean is the average, median is the middle number when you sort them, range is the maximum minus the minimum, and the mode is the one that shows up the most. So it's kind of easy when you only have 3 or 4 numbers, right? And you have a calculator, you can do it. But what happens when you have hundreds or thousands? Well, today we're going to look at annual data, which has 365 numbers that we're going to evaluate. And so that's why we're going to be using technology, a website called Desmos, but we also want to evaluate real-world data about the environment. So we're going to get information about air quality data from the EPA, which is the Environmental Protection Agency. So we're going to get data from the EPA website, Environmental Protection Agency. So you want to click this link right here, and it'll open up the website we learned about last time. Take us to the website. EPA, Environmental Protection Agency of the United States. It's from the national or federal government. And this website can tell us air quality values for any city in the country for many years. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to basically use this page here to get the data. And if you look at it, read through it a little bit, basically the first category is to select the particular kind of pollutant that you're looking to evaluate, and then you enter the year and then the location, geographic area. So let's go ahead and look at the assignment. Okay, so when we go back to Canvas, the third part is to get the assignment. So here's a link, and you want to click this and open it up. And when you open it, I think it's a good idea to open it in Kami, okay, so that way you can mark it up. So here I have the assignment for today in Kami, and it tells us to watch a video, which you're doing right now. And then the first 4 questions, I will go ahead, and the first question set, there's going to be several question sets. There's 26 questions total, and it may seem like a lot, but it goes pretty quickly. Once you do the first or second one, it goes really quickly. It's just getting the data, pasting it in, and answering the question. So this should be a pretty quick assignment. But what we're going to do is we've already got the website open, but if you want, you can click on, I've also put the link in the website. I don't know if it shows up in Kami, but it should show up when you first open it as a PDF. Right here, for example, yeah, see the link should be valuable, and it is. Okay, good. So anyway, so what are we doing? Question set 1 through 4, we're going to go to the EPA website, which we've already done. And we're going to look at a particular pollutant, ozone, year 2000, and why don't we go ahead and pick Seattle, okay? So let's go ahead and remember, ozone 2000 Seattle. Okay, so I toggle back over to the website. So what was it? It was ozone. So I click on the pollutant, get ozone. What's the year? 2000. So I'm going to scroll down to 2000. What was the city? Seattle. Now there's bunches of cities, so to go through it quicker, Seattle starts with an S. So I'm going to type in S on my keyboard, and it takes me right to all the S's. So it saves me a bunch of time. And then I'm going to just find Seattle, which is going to be, where'd it go? Seattle, there it is. Okay, Seattle, Tacoma. But all right, good. So I've got those 3 things selected. And the next thing, generate a report. You got to click on that to get the data. And very important. Now you will see it there, but this is very important. This makes it hard to get the data for the next step. We're going to need to copy the data. So you want to do this one right here. Oops. You want to do the download the CSV spreadsheet. Sometimes you have to click on it more than once. But click on that, and something should pop up where you should get a download. If it doesn't, wait a moment, click again. So when I click on it, I can get a table of data. Check it out. So what does it show me? it shows me date 1/1/2000, so this is January 1st, and it's got a big long list for the entire year. So there's going to be 365 days of ozone AQI values. It also tells us that those data values are good, so for those first few days it looks pretty good, and it actually tells you the testing site. But anyway, this is what we care about, the ozone value right here. Okay, so now now that we can see where we're going to get the data, we're going to go to Desmos. So the next step is to, come on, there we go. The next step is to open desmos.com. So I put the link here if you want to click on that. Okay, and you can just remember it's desmos.com, and then when you get there, click the open graphing calculator and you'll see the screen here. Okay, now to prepare to bring the data into Desmos, we want to click on this cell here, or this field, and we want to type some letter. It can be, usually I put in a capital letter. Why don't we put in capital D for data, and then equals. Just leave it like that for now, because what we're going to do is we're going to go get the data and we're going to paste it right into this cell. So now let's go get the data. Okay, now keep in mind that we see data that goes down about 39 rows, right? But there's 365 days in a year, so we're going to have to get all of it. So a few different ways to do it quicker, but it's depending on the keyboard you're using. I'm just going to tell you just a regular way to get it. So you want to start making sure you get the very first value at the very beginning. And so you want to see the title. So I see the titles of the columns, the column headers. So the first one's going to be right here. So I'm going to click on it. And then I want to highlight the whole row. So I'm going to press down on my Shift key. And then I'm going to press down on my arrow key. And you'll see that I'm highlighting all these data values right there. Well, I'm only on, what, January 10th? So I'm going to hold my arrow key down and let it go for a while until I see the end of the entire list. Okay? Again, there's 365 days. Getting closer. Okay, so now I've surpassed it, so that shows that I got it. Okay, now I'm going to move my arrow keys until I get there. Now that I've got it, I've got all the data highlighted. You can see it, right? And all the way until December 31st. Now we want to copy it. So what you want to do is you want to hit Control-C for copy. So if you look at it, you can see this dashed line. That shows that right now the computer is copying the entire row. Okay, that's all 365 values. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on or toggle over until I see my Desmos. Okay, so there it is. So right now I see the cursor blinking, so I know I'm in the field, or I could click on it. If I wasn't there, I could go click on it. And now that I've got my cursor next to D, I want to paste it in. So that's going to be Control-V as in Victor, like that. Did I do it right? It should be equals. Sorry. It should be equals. Okay, so that little thing told me. So it should be D equals. Okay? So you should have that. So all the data is in there, and this tells me that 366 elements or data points are there. So we've already brought all our data in. Now we're going to see the benefits of using Desmos when it comes to figuring out things like the average or the mean. Well, then the other fields we're going to use to tell the software to take the average, and that's mean. So what you're going to do is you're going to type in lowercase m-e-a-n, and you're going to do parenthesis, and you're going to go D for data set D, because again, this D here is coming from here. So if we don't put in the right letter, the program doesn't know what to do. And right away, when we do it correctly, check it out. That's the mean. We don't have to enter all these values in the calculator and divide them. It automatically computes it for us, the benefit of software. So there you go. So that is the mean of all those data sets. So now we're going to go to our assignment and circle the correct answer. Okay, so let's see. It was 41.29. We picked the closest. I've rounded them to the nearest tenth. So there you go. Okay, cool. Now we're going to go ahead and do the median. Okay, the median is kind of like the mean. We just type it in lowercase m-e-d-i-a-n, parenthesis, D, parenthesis, boom, 40. Right off the bat. We don't have to sort it. Because, by the way, it's not sorted. As you can see, 41, 40, 37, 40. It's not sorted. Could you imagine how much time it would take to sort it if we didn't have software? But we get it right away, 40, right? So we go back to the assignment. Okay, 40. Now we're going to do the range of the daily values. Okay, so the range, if you remember, is going to be the maximum number minus the minimum. The biggest number minus the smallest. So what we're going to do is we're going to do max and then parenthesis D, parenthesis. Now that's the biggest number. We don't have to go sorting through this. That's the biggest number, but we need to subtract minus the minimum, parenthesis D, to see that the difference between the maximum and the minimum is 132. Okay, so that is going to be your range. So 132. See how easy that is? You don't have to sort through all the data to look at the biggest and the smallest. Okay, so the last thing is to find the mode. Unfortunately, they don't have a command for mode that's as easy as this. So we got to do something. We're going to make something called a dot plot, which you should have seen in the last lesson. So what you got to do is you got to type in dot plot parenthesis D parenthesis. Now, it doesn't give us any data, does it? But you know what it's going to give us? It's going to give us all this data on the graph. Well, the first thing you might notice is you don't see any data, at least not how I've got it magnified here. So I'm going to zoom out, actually. I'm going to zoom out. Ooh, check it out. When I zoom out, maybe zoom in, I start to see all these data values. Remember, you can take your finger and you can move the screen around. One finger moves the screen around. Now, what is the mode? The mode is the value that shows up the most. Well, every single one of these columns shows us that's 24, that's 24, that's 24, that's 24, they're all 24. The first number shows you the x-axis, which is 24. This value here is 19. Well, we want the one that shows up the most. Well, that's going to be the tallest one, okay? And you can see by looking at this that there's only one column that goes this high, and the first number tells us it's 44. Remember, it's the first number. That comes from here, and if you're not sure, look straight down, and you'll see that it's right at 44. So there you go. That's the mode. One last thing. There's going to be one question where two columns are the same height. Remember, you're going to pick the mode. The mode would be both, although I ask you to pick the smaller one for the correct answer. But anyway, on this question, the mode is 44. Okay, let me see if I can find the assignment. There we go. Okay, so you've got the first question set done, but so basically from here on out it's review. You're just going to be looking at this new data and updating it. So let me go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and put this data in the website and then open up the data, get the data, and if you forgot how to do it, you might want to go back, rewind and go back and see how I did this one. Go ahead and get the data and open up the file that has the raw data. And then I'm going to show you how to put it into Desmos and get the information more quickly. Okay, so here's the data, and since we're doing CO2, then I need to highlight this whole column here. So go ahead and highlight the whole column. Okay, do Control-C, and then go back to Desmos. And here's the important part. X out the previous data right there from the prior one, and then click at the bottom and do D equals, and then Control-V again, and there's your data. Now what you'll notice is all these commands are still there. You still have the mean, but now it's adjusted for the new data. So basically it's still calculating everything for the new data. So again, you exit out on the top, you click down there, click in D equals, and then Control-V from the data that you got from the other thing. And it automatically gives you the values. So now you can enter them into the to the assignment. So there you go, guys. So that's how you get data from the EPA, Environmental Protection Agency, and enter it into Desmos and let Desmos do all the work for us and do the assignment. Okay, so make sure when you're done, you enter it into Canvas your answers.